Okay, this is video number 7, and this is for all of the instruments. And for this video, actually all you need right now is your book. And I have all 3 of my books here that I'm going to be using to show you a couple of different things. But we're going to be talking about the musical terms in the shaded box at the top of page number 5. So open to page number 5, and I want you to look there. Now I'm going to show you the different books because I actually kind of want you to see, violin players, what the viola book looks like and what the cello book looks like as well. So if you open up to page number 5, the very first thing that you see in the violin book, it says the treble clef. This right here is the treble clef, okay? Violas have something called the alto clef. It's this right here. And then both the cellos and basses use something called the bass clef right here. Now, you might have seen this clef before, and you might have seen this clef before. In fact, if you play piano, you already know how to read both of those, don't you? Okay, unless you're just a very beginning piano player. You already know how to read both of those. Violas, you are the only ones that use the alto clef. There's something very similar called the tenor clef that sometimes cello players, when they get really advanced, will use. But violas, you are the only ones, the only instrument that uses this clef. Now, the treble clef, it's important that you know the difference, because if you pick up music and it has this clef and you're a viola player, you're not going to be able to play it. It's not going to work. If you're a violin player and you pick up music and it has that clef, you're not going to be able to play it. So it's important that you know all of them, okay? That know all the different clefs that we use in orchestra. The clef just identifies who the music is for, basically. I mean, it's a little bit more complicated than that, but it identifies, for you guys, for your purposes now, it identifies who the music is for. Now, what it shows after that are all the different notes that are on the staff. Now, I mentioned in a previous video that some of your notes are going to be above the staff and below the staff. This does not show that. All this is showing is that a clef identifies what instrument the music can be played by, okay? Now, this has notes on the lines and on the spaces. We'll talk a bit more about that in upcoming videos. I want to go ahead and move on to the next thing. So take from this, at the beginning of this video, the only thing I want you to take away from this is that you need to know what your clef sign looks like and what it's called. The next thing down is something called the time signature, and in parentheses it says meter. Those are basically synonyms. Those are the same thing. The time signature, the meter, it's the same thing. Now there are 2 numbers, one on top of the other. Now, I didn't understand this when I very first started playing, because the number on top tells you how many beats are in one measure. Okay, that makes sense. If the number up there is 4, you're going to have 4 beats in a measure. That's what we've been playing so far. Now, a beat can be a note or a rest. So it could have 4 quarter notes, or it could have 4 quarter rest, or it could have 1 quarter note and 3 quarter rest. That's 4 beats. It doesn't have to be beats of sound. It can be beats of silence too. So it has 4 beats in a measure. If there's a 2 on top, there's only 2 beats in a measure. So it only have 2 quarter notes, or a quarter note and a quarter rest. Okay? Something that would total up to be 2. If there's a 3 on top, it would have 3 beats, 3 quarter notes, or 2 quarter notes and 1 quarter rest, or something like that. Now, the bottom number is what used to always confuse me, because the bottom number is a 4, and it tells us that the quarter note gets the beat. And I was so confused because I was like, well, of course a quarter note gets the beat. A quarter note always gets the beat. Well, for now it does, and for all of book 1, and for most of book 2, a quarter note will get the beat, and you will see a 4 on the bottom. But it's not true for all of the music you'll ever play. As you get more complicated, one day there'll be an 8 on the bottom. One day there'll be a 2 on the bottom, okay? So just remember right now that this is called the time signature. The number on the top tells us how many beats in a measure, and you're going to see that change. You're going to see that change fairly soon in your book. The number on the bottom means a quarter note gets the beat, and for a long time, the quarter note will get the beat. And then there are 2 other new things here. This one right here is the double bar. I want you to notice the end of that, how it's darker. than just one line. You know how bar lines just have one line? A double bar tells us the song is over. Now, why is that important? Well, so far, your song's only one line long. But soon, very soon, in fact, number 19 in your book, it's going to be 2 lines long. And one day, you're going to have a song that's more than 1 page. So it's important to know, if you get to the bottom of the page, you don't see that double bar, and you only got 1 page, you're going, uh-oh, I'm missing some music. I need to get the other page. There's a page 2, and maybe a page 3, and maybe a page 4, 5, and 6. That's how long some of these songs will get. So this tells us the song is over. All right? Now, there's one more thing I want to show you, and that is the repeat sign. This looks like the double bar, but it does not exactly like it, is it? It's got 2 little dots. And what that means is that you're going to repeat the song again. You're going to play it again, or maybe just a portion of the song again. For now, all the repeats you're going to do, you're going to play the whole thing again. Okay? We'll learn more about how repeat signs can be a little more complicated later on, but you see a repeat sign, for example, at the end of number 8. See that? The end of number 8. And you're going to play this. You get to there, you go all the way back to the beginning and play it again. Okay? So those are the new terms for this video. Down here it's talking about counting, and we're going to be counting 1, 2, 3, and 4. Because right now we're going to have 4 beats in every measure, and quarter note's always going to get the beat. Remember, that's the time signature that tells us that. So review for now, what I want you to do is review all of those musical terms that you have in your book. Learn those, practice those, see how they work in your music. Look down on the bottom of the page and see and identify them within your music as well, until you really understand how they work and what they mean.